Actually, what is TRIZ actually talking about? It's a creative problem-solving methodology for scientific and engineering problems. TRIZ tools were developed to show the user what the solution look like. And the solution is a basic concept based on how others have solved a similar problem in the past. Guys, look at this. I asked the question, what is TRIZ? The data is all there. There are 54 people who made like a statement of what they think about TRIZ. But when I ask a certain person to define what is TRIZ, okay, how do you collect the words and define it into a statement? It's not easy. How are we going to solve a problem or a question if we cannot read the data? So let's talk about TRIZ and its history. It was developed in the beginning of 1946 by a Soviet engineer, Genrich Altschuler. He and his colleagues studied about 400,000 patents and discerned inventive principles were often present in the most successful cases. This is the popular Mr. Altschuler. And if I'm asked, why do I have to use TRIZ? TRIZ uses the world's knowledge. It is systematic and also repeatable. It is based on proven successful patents. It's quick. And it's not only for engineer guys. Okay, let me show you a movie. Wait a minute. Okay, this is a short movie about TRIZ.
I love getting together with my old college friends. Jeff is now a manager at a big online retailer. Erica is director of marketing for a software startup. Joanna owns her own restaurant, and David is a high school principal. Even though I'm a pharma account manager, I always get ideas for innovative problem solving when we talk. The principles of business management apply across all industries.
Hey, Zach.
How's life in the pharma world?
My new territory is really a challenge. Yeah, I was looking to pick your brains tonight, and who knows, if you're lucky, I might even pick up the tab.
What kind of problems are you dealing with?
You name it. Optimizing my travel time, identifying key accounts, and keeping a very detailed-oriented district manager happy.
In that case, maybe it's time to put TRIZ to work.
TRIZ? What's that?
It's a problem-solving tool developed by some engineers in the 1940s.
Gee, that sounds practical.
I've heard of TRIZ. Lots of people are using it these days in the business world.
Okay, explain.
There are 40 TRIZ principles designed to resolve a contradiction between two opposing forces.
You've already lost me.
Okay,
I think
here's an
some
example
examples
that
might
probably saved my restaurant. We noticed a steady decline in customers over the past few years. We'd expanded our menu to be more ethnically diverse, but it was logistically very difficult. You can imagine the variety of ingredients that we needed to prepare Chinese, Italian, Latin American, French, and Indian cuisine. A lot of food was going to waste and our profits had dropped. I remembered one of the TRIZ problem-solving principles that I call the alignment principle. It's about making each part of an object function in conditions most suitable for its operation. By extending the alignment principle to my situation, I came to a very simple conclusion. Our menu was too varied. In our attempt to satisfy the tastes of a multi-ethnic neighborhood, we were forgetting our specialties and ignoring efficiency. The result was a drop in quality. We offered a few Indian dishes, but we didn't have a real tandoori. What we do have is a brick oven, which is perfect for pizzas and calzones. So we decided to focus and align with what we were positioned to do best. And we now offer the best pizza and penne alla vodka in the neighborhood.
Wait a minute. That's a great idea for something I've been mulling over. In my line of work, we want to provide as much information as possible to our customers. But I guess if I were to apply what was that principle called again?
You mean the alignment principle?
Yeah. If I put more thought into selecting messages that are specific to my customers' concerns,
Jeff, you've
I
put
might get a
TRIZ
better
into
response.
action at the big online retailer where you work.
How do you know?
Tell them about your idea for anticipatory shipping.
This should be a good one.
Our company wanted to speed up the delivery of products to our customers, but we also knew that faster delivery equals increased costs. In other words, There's an inherent contradiction between the need to speed things up for our customers demanding same-day delivery and the need to control costs.
Jeff's idea solves this problem using the TRIZ principle of performing a required change before it is needed. I like to call it the optimization principle.
Our website gathers a lot of data on customers' preferences and shopping patterns, so we decided to crunch the numbers to predict where people would be likely to order different products. That way, we can send those products to delivery hubs before the customer actually makes a purchase. See how our optimized shipping lets us get an item to the customer the same day they've ordered it without costing any more money?
Wow, I get it. But how can the optimization principle help me as a farmer rep? There has to be a way to apply this to my line of work.
There are plenty of ways. For instance, what actions can you take before your next speaker program to optimize
I can probably
attendance?
think of lots of ways to use the optimization principle. What are some other TRIZ principles that might help solve business problems?
I have a good example. At my software company, innovative problem solving has been essential to our success. If there's 40 principles, I'll bet at least one will apply. When we first began building our online project management tool, we wanted to get it into customers' hands as soon as possible. But we also had ideas for lots of interesting features and useful functionality. We knew the longer our features list grew, the more attractive our product would be, but the longer it would take to get it out to market.
Your dilemma reminds me of the principle of partial action. That means doing only part of something if 100% is hard to achieve.
We decided to introduce our software in a beta version that included only the most essential functionality. That way, we could bring our product to market right away and continue its development incorporating plenty of user feedback. We knew we couldn't do 100%, so we found a way to be successful doing less.
Cool, but how could the partial action principle help me as a farmer rep?
What about applying the principle to your customer relationships? I know it's your goal to build credibility with all your customers, but that takes time.
You're right. I can brainstorm immediate actions to build credibility with new customers, with the long-term goal of becoming a trusted ideas. Any other TRIZ principles you'd recommend?
What about the principle of universality, which basically states that when confronted with a problem, you have to get something to perform multiple functions? David, I'll bet you have a good example for this one.
This might be relevant. At my school, we've been struggling for the past few years with the standardized state exams. We knew our students' quantitative reasoning skills needed improvement. We had no budget for additional math or quantitative reasoning classes. So we decided to inject elements of quantitative reasoning throughout the entire curriculum, even in subjects that seemed unrelated. For example, our history teachers might show statistics on a historical event and explain how to analyze those statistics. This year, we saw a huge jump in math scores, and we are ecstatic.
That's a great story, and you've got me thinking about how I can apply the principle of universality out in the field. Sometimes a doctor's reimbursement specialist will ask me for help with a payer issue. While I can't get involved in this type of issue, I can, trigger actions by multiple members of my neuroscience matrix team. There's the reimbursement manager. She needs to contact the insurance provider, while I need to verify if there have been similar issues with other accounts. And our clinical nurse educator needs to be informed as well, so she's better prepared to handle reimbursement questions when she does patient education.
You're acting as a catalyst for several different functions performed by different people on your neuroscience matrix team. Come to think of it, I use the principle of universality a lot. Since budgets are tight in education, I always hire teachers with multiple certifications, so one teacher can teach several different classes.
I'll bet the principle of universality applies to a lot of business problems. I propose a toast.
You got it.
To TRIZ.
There's a reason why it's still so popular after 60 years, because it works.
TRIZ has 40 principles that can help you think creatively. You might want to explore them to see if TRIZ can help your business.
Okay, guys, we saw a video there. Now I'm going to ask. Hello, Yoel. Are you there?
Yeah, hello, Miss.
Yoel, you have the highest score today because you are the first to submit the quiz. Congratulations. Okay,
Okay.
Yoel, you saw the
Yes.
video. What can you tell me?
So the main point is the first main point that I got is TRIZ is found in 1946 by I forgot his name.
Okay, that Russian guy, right?
Yeah, the Russian guy.
Okay, that
Uh,
Russian guy.
and its method to identify to analyze the prob the the problem that can be occurred on a product development process.
Okay, so You often heard the words contradictive, right? Remember?
Yes.
Yes, there was an example about a school education system. They want to give good quality to their students in providing good teachers, but they have no budget, right? That's a contradictive situation. So at the end, what was the solution? Do you remember? They hired a teacher with several capabilities, right? And they then saw the condition about a teacher teaching history, but also combining it with teaching statistics. And at the end, the student
Hello, Riana,
scores.
no voice.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
I cannot hear. What's
Okay.
going on?
Joel, can you hear me?
Maybe my voice.
Yes, I can, Miss.
Oh, Professor, can you hear me now? Okay, let's test. Pamela, can you hear my voice?
Yes, Miss, I can.
Okay, so I think Professor Joe's headset has some problems. Okay, so we saw from the video, guys, that TRIZ can be applied not only for engineers, right? And from the video, we will see that TRIZ is a problem-solving method. There is like identifying my problem, and there will be an initial specific problem. And after that, TRIZ will make a general problem and identify the analogies. And then there will be a step where TRIZ will give a general solution where it applies analogous solution to my specific problem. And then I have a specific solution using 40 inventive principles. Okay, so let's talk about the steps, step by step in the TRIZ. Okay, first of all, I need to identify the problem. Okay, I want a volunteer to read this slide, okay? I want you guys to also participate and try to improve your English. And I'm also checking your attendance. Johannes Chandra, are you here? Johannes? Johannes Chandra?
Yes, miss.
Okay, nice to hear your voice. Can you read to the class this slide?
Number one, identifying the problem. To identify the engineering system being studied, its operating environment, resource requirements, primary useful function, harmful effects, and ideal results.
Okay, continue.
Okay. For example, a beverage can. An engineered system to contain a beverage. Operating environment is that cans are stacked for storage purposes. Resources include weight of filled cans, internal pressure of can, rigidity of can construction. Primary useful function is to contain beverage. Harmful effects include cost of materials and producing can and waste of storage space. Ideal result is a can that can support the weight of stacking to human weight without damage to cans or beverage in cans.
Okay, I'll revise the last sentence. Ideal result is a can that can support the weight of stacking to human height without damage to cans or beverage in cans. Thank you for helping me reading this. Okay, we have a problem here, guys. It's about a beverage can. You can see the form of the beverages there in the picture, right? So we have an operating environment is that the cans are stacked for storage purposes, and the resources include weight of filled cans, internal pressure of can, rigidity of can construction, and there is primary useful function is to contain the beverage, and there are harmful effects include cost of materials and producing can and waste of storage space. And there is also the last condition, ideal result is a can that can support the weight of stacking to human height without damage to cans or beverage in cans. Okay, so when we continue, we have identified the problem. This is the second step. Formulate the problem. First of all, we have to restate the problem in terms of physical contradictions. Okay, please highlight the words physical contradictions. We're going to discuss this in detail next week. Then we are going to identify problems that could occur. Could improving one technical characteristic to solve a problem cause other technical characteristics to worsen? Okay, for the example, I'm going to ask someone else to read. Okay, I'm going to Vietnam now. Hi, Leti Xuan. Are you there? Leti Xuan? No. Okay. Le Phan Duan. Are you there? Not there too. Okay. Le Hu Tai. Are you there? Okay. Let's go to Christine Afiana. Hi, Christine. Are you there? Christine? Okay. She's not there too. Catherine. Hi, Kath. Are you there?
Hi, Miss.
Okay. Christine and Catherine, are you both there? Okay. Let me ask Catherine to read this example. Right?
Number 2, formulate the problem. Restate the problem. In terms of physical contradiction, identify problems that could occur. Could improving one technical characteristic to solve a problem cause other technical characteristic to worsen?
Okay. Now,
Example.
Christine. It's okay. Catherine, you stop there. Christine,
Okay.
can you read the example? Christine Afiana, are you there? Hello,
Hello,
Christine?
Miss.
Okay. You can
Okay.
read the example, Christine.
Okay, for the example, we cannot control the height to which cans will be staked. The price of raw materials compel us to lower costs. The can walls must be made thinner to reduce costs. But if we make the walls thinner, it cannot support as large a staking load. Thus, the can wall needs to be thinner to lower material costs and thicker to support staking load weight.
Okay. Catherine and Kristen, do you understand this example? Tell me. Do you think it's logical? Related to the problem before? Okay. I think it relates, right? Let's go on. Okay. Okay, so far, any questions? Now, I go back to the problem in the beginning. What is TRIZ? How do you make it as a statement? Let me ask Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan Fernan. Are you there?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. Okay. We learned from step 1 and step 2. We have to be able to make a problem statement, right? After identifying the problem. In the beginning, I gave you a question. What is TRIZ? Now try to make a definition of what you have learned so far.
Okay, Miss. Let me think for a while, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, let me try. So what I get so far about TRIZ is it's actually um TRIZ is an idea that can help problems that has been identified and formulated with what do you call it? With um, solutions that has been done before. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. So now we are moving forward. Thank you, Jonathan, for your statement there. You are now able to make a longer sentence and try to identify better what is TRIZ. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, now the third step. This is search for previously well-solved problem. Okay, Altshuler extracted 39 standard technical characteristics that cause conflict. These are called the 39 engineering parameters. First, find the principle that needs to be changed or improved, and then find the principle that is an undesirable secondary effect. Okay, guys, this is the 39 engineering parameters from number 1 to 39. And this is the engineering parameters. The title is, for the first one, moving objects, explanations. Objects which can easily change position in space, either on their own or as a result of external forces. Vehicles and objects designed to be portable are the basic members of this class. What is stationary objects? Objects which do not change position in space, either on their own or as a result of external forces. Consider the conditions under which the object is being used. Okay, you can see here the engineering parameters with all the titles and the explanation, from the weight of moving objects, weight of stationary object, and then length of moving object and length of stationary object until the volume of stationary object. And then when we go into the step process, for example, the standard engineering parameter that has to be changed to make the can wall thinner is number 4, which is length of a non-moving object. If we make the can wall thinner, the stacking load weight will decrease. But the standard engineering parameter that is in conflict, remember there is always a conflict, is number 11, which is stress. So the standard technical conflict is the more we improve the standard engineering parameter, which is the length of non-moving object, then the more the standard engineering parameter stress becomes worse. Who likes the word stress? Nobody, right? So when we're looking for TRIZ to find the general solutions and adapt to my solution, Altshuler also extracted from the worldwide patents 40 inventive principles. These are hints that will help an engineer find a highly inventive and patentable solution to the problem. These are Altshuler's 40 principles of TRIZ. You can see from number 1 to number 40. Okay, so if we continue the process, for example, the engineering parameters in conflict for the beverage can are number 4, and the length of a non-moving object, and number 11, which is stress. There will be the feature to improve, which is the y-axis, is the can wall thickness for number 4, which is the length of a non-moving object, and the undesirable secondary effect, which is the x-axis, is loss of load-bearing capacity, or number 11, which is stress. Looking these up on the table of contradictions, we find the numbers 1, 14, and 35 in the intersecting cell. This one here. This is the contradiction matrix. You can see vertically is improve, and for horizontally from 1 to 39 also is the condition of worsen. So if I look into this, this is what we call the matrix here. You can see here, this is the improving feature, and this is the worsening feature. We can see that they will connect here from 0.4 vertically and 11 here. So this is also from the other variables. And if we connect them together, this is the table of contradictions. You can see number 4 here is the length of stationary objects, while number 11 here is the stress or pressure. And you can see here, this is where we connect them. Okay, so the inventive principle number 1 for the solution, okay, the segmentation, you have to divide an object into independent parts, and then you make an object sectional, and then you increase the degree of an object segmentation. So for example, using inventive principle 1C, you have to increase the degree of an object segmentation. The wall of the can could be changed from one smooth continuous wall to a corrugated or wavy surface made up of many little walls. This would increase the edge strength of the wall, yet allow a thinner material to be used, which you can see in figure 1. So this is the solution. Inventive principle number 14 is spheroidality. You replace linear parts or flat surfaces with curved ones. Replace cubical shapes with spherical shapes, and then use rollers or ball spirals. You replace a linear motion with rotating movement and utilize the centrifugal force. Using inventive principle 14, the perpendicular angle at which most can lids are welded to the can wall can be changed to a curve, as you can see in figure 2. And for inventive principle number 35, transformation of the physical and chemical states of an object, change an object's aggregate state, density distribution, degree of flexibility, and temperature. With the change of the composition to a stronger metal alloy used for the can wall to increase the load-bearing capacity. So, for the conclusion, using TRIZ can beneficiate of solutions or ways of solution that had proved their effectiveness and consequently accelerate the design and also propose more innovative solutions. TRIZ tools were developed to show the user what the solution looked like for given technical problems, and the solution is a basic concept based on how others have solved a similar problem in the past. Thank you. Okay, so far, any question, guys? This is only an introduction about TRIZ. After this, at 2 p.m., Professor Joe is going to explain to us and give more examples how to use TRIZ. Professor Joe, are you there?
Yes, I'm always here.
Okay. Time and place is yours, Professor.
No music, huh?
No music. Dang, dang,
Okay.
dang, 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 dang. There's the music.
Okay, thank you. And yes, how are you guys? Hello, students. How are you? Okay.
I'm
No
good,
wave.
Professor.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Just I like to
Oh,
see
no.
you wave. Your hand wave in the monitor, but it seems like you don't have a voice here, huh? Anyway, let me share my screen. Okay, so okay, let me close, set it up again. Okay, you guys should very understand what is TRIZ and how to use it. But be honest speaking, if you want to learn TRIZ, it takes 1 semester, not 1 week, not even 1 lecture. No. So next time, if you are interested in that, yes, you guys may ask maybe Miss Vivi or Miss Riana to offer a course in at least in 1 semester. Okay, so I'll introduce some example for you regarding to those 40 principles. But before that, please read this and remember this. If there is no method for innovation, innovation is temporary. Are you agree? Yeah. So another sentence, please remember, velocities can be different, but the nature of the problem is the same. And the idea for the solution are the same. Okay, those 2 sentences are from somewhere. I think it's from a TRIZ master. Who said that? Yeah. Anyway, just remember those 2 sentences. Before I introduce my example, do you think, have you ever thought what is a contradiction? A big car, which is more comfortable, but it will be very difficult to park. Is that right? And then 2 guys are in different weights. How can they play games together? And then a couple who are happy be together, but when they are angry, they don't like to sit together. Yeah, that's contradiction. But the most serious contradiction in the world is this. Well, nobody can solve this problem. Okay, only they can solve this kind of problem. Anyway, I'll give a little training for you in the beginning. How do you solve the problem of insufficient rooms? This is a solution, right? This is a solution. How to solve the space problem? This is a solution. This is also a solution for helmet. But is that the only solution? No, definitely not only solution. There are many solutions. But if they are suitable or not, you have to find out. Okay, those are 39 engineering parameters. Those are 40 principles. I could know this. And then this is the Miss Riana taught you how to use the contradiction matrix. Okay, so remember the solution you found here. They are from 40 principles, but remember they are not only solutions. You may find other solutions with some other method or some ideas. Okay, never stop thinking. Okay, the first example I want to introduce is segmentation. So the contents will be divided an object into independent parts, or make an object easy to disassemble, or increase the degree of fragmentation or segmentation. This is a design of a tablet notebook. Okay, the idea is from dividing a work process into separate steps. Okay, and then this one is another segmentation example. If you have a tiny maybe living room, so you can use this kind of design of furniture. Okay, and then the third idea, increase the degree of fragmentation or segmentation. This is a very good design of furniture. I mean, box for storage. When you need, you just buy a small piece or couple pieces and then assemble it together. And when you are, I mean, I don't know if you rent a room in Indonesia close to your university. In Taiwan, there are many students from different countries or different states or different province. So they have to rent a house close by. So they may need this kind of furniture or storage box. Okay, so extraction, or we call it taking out. You may think separate an interfering part or property from an object or single out the only necessary part. Okay, this one, where to skip the dongle. The wireless house, long time ago, the dongle and the wireless mouse are separate. But somehow, if you want to buy a new one, a new wireless mouse, all the dongle are stored in some space of this mouse. So you can easy to find it, and then you can easy to take it apart. Okay, and then this is a single out example. This is very smart design. Remove the bulky base of the glue table and then separate the necessary shaft from the cutting function to make a brand new tape cutter. The new design is something like this, but it is flexible. So no matter how new or how old your tape is, you can use it as a cutter. Okay, and then a housewife, or if your home have some guests to visit, when we drink a cup of coffee, always have this issue. Okay, to maybe to mess up our table, but that's very easy. A smart guy, he has a very good solution to solve this problem. Something like this. Okay, taking out. Only a small slice here can solve this problem, right? So local quality, I don't want to read it one by one. Local quality. A designer, he thought we may use some device to make a local quality much better. So the idea changes an object structure from uniform to non-uniform. Okay, so can you see the difference? Here is a large one. Here is smaller one. And it's moved to somewhere, so we know this is 12:15, right? The time is 12:15. So this is a simple design, but it make you let you feel very impressive. Okay, and then local quality. I don't know if you have you ever met this kind of problem? Somebody steal your lunchbox or your sandwich. But if you buy a bag like this, so nobody will steal that. So it's never afraid of being stolen. So it's just a simple design. That's the idea is from local quality. Okay, since we have only 30 minutes to go, I may not be able to introduce all 40 examples. Maybe Miss Fifi will introduce this next week, sometime next week. Maybe if I have time, I will join you. Maybe that's the request from Miss Riana. So actually, she pushed me a lot. Okay. Okay. So pencil eraser is the same thing. Long time ago, a French, I guess, he used bread with water to erase his painting. Okay. So, but smart like him, he used maybe bandage or whatever, just stick them together and then have this kind of invention. That's a very smart invention at that time. Okay. So assembly, symmetry. Okay. Change the shape of an object from symmetrical to asymmetrical. Have you ever seen this kind of umbrella? I believe in the near future, it will become very popular since it can avoid the back wing and the front wing for you, right? So although it's asymmetrical, but it looks very good. I like this kind of design, but so far I cannot buy it in any market, any store. Okay, so our this one is a tough engineering question. Okay, the wheel pour causes the water to be thrown outward, slowing the rate of leakage. Okay, the asymmetrical leaks reduce the vortex speed and increase the leak speed. I don't know if you have ever met this kind of problem, but this problem is a serious problem long time ago in every household, since not many people knew a leak with symmetrical shape, it will make a big problem for water to be strong. Okay, but so far, if you want to buy a leak, please buy a symmetrical leak. Okay, so you can read this in some engineering problem book, I guess. Okay, and then this is another asymmetric example. It won't hurt your arm or your hand or your wrist. We call it an ergonomic mouse. Okay, then a symmetrical shape of hammer, it will make you easy to use it, save your your power, you know. Okay, merging, yeah, sometimes you can see if you want to save your time, you can use this kind of merging function, right? Okay, and then this is a merging example as well. A smart guy invented a spoon and chopsticks. You call it Mr. P, something like this. So you just bring one piece of this Mr. P. You can solve your problem to bring your chopsticks and the spoon to school. It takes your space and maybe occupied your space maybe. And then this is a new battery, rechargeable battery design. Okay, and universality is kind of something like Swiss knife. They put all elements together, something like a Apple Watch or smart watch, the same thing. And then I skip it, and this one, nested door. The idea is place most objects or systems in other objects or systems. Nested door is the meaning is something like this. So a designer, very smart designer, designs this kind of hang towers. This device to hang towers, even your clothes, okay, or other object you kept, whatever, like you want to hang, you can use it. And this design is very fancy. It's a fancy design. Okay, and then the oldest nested door design is from supermarket back to maybe early 1990s. Oh no, early 1900s. Okay, the first supermarket, their trolley, they in the beginning they met a big problem. They found their trolleys, number of trolleys occupy the space more than their customer's car. So they designed this kind of trolley to solve this problem. Okay, and then anti-weight. So anti-weight. So smart guy can design this kind of stuff, use air to prevent some problem or to solve some problems. Okay, this kind of water horn, or water speaker, or water music player can solve this problem if you want to have a really relaxed time in the water pool. Okay, and then this one is a very famous design, floor lamp. The design use the properties of maybe it's metal, the flexibility of metal to design a very good shape of curve of floor lamp. This lamp is very famous. It's famous in the world. Okay, and the number 9 is primarily anti-action. Okay, this is a new design of bottle for shampoo. As you can see, the difference is here. Okay, there's a hole here, and then can hang in maybe somewhere here, and then see the bottom here. This kind of design, this styling bottle that solve problem is called convention cavity. And the bottom of the bottle is designed to be inclined so that you can press out the shampoo or shower gel with one hand and while taking a bath. Okay, this kind of design is good for you. Okay, and I won't spend time on this example and this as well. Okay, and this one, preliminary action. For this kind of potato chip, the new design, they will put a device like this inside of the potato chips, so you don't have to pull it away, or to slide, to make it slide. Anyway, this is a good design. Okay, so we call it pre-installation of potato chips discharge equipment can make it more convenient for customers. Yes, this is a keywords. Make more convenient for customers. You can make money. Okay, that's why we need develop a new product. Okay, and this is for safety issue. I'll skip it. And then since we almost run out of our time, okay, and then this reverse action uses for wine. So sorry, I'll skip this since many of you cannot drink alcohol in your country, right? So this one I'll skip it. And this one is a very good example for reverse action. Okay, with reverse the object, reverse the system or program. So that's why we should make it shorter, smaller of this treadmill, so you can exercise at home. Okay, and then see this kind of new design, even you don't have to buy a big house to have a swimming pool. You can make a new swimming pool at home like this. You won't occupy a large space, right? This is a very good design. Okay, so you can save your water as well, but your electricity bill may be more. Okay. Anyway, so the 14 principles Riana just introduces, I will skip it. But see this design. Okay, use the principle of 14. You can change the shape or weight or seesaw to design a new elegant tableware. Okay, it's simple but looks very fancy. And then especially in the COVID-19 era, yeah, never let your this portion touch on the table. It can make you more safe, right? And then this kind of curvature design for roller design for mouse, and then this I will skip it, and then yeah, this dynamicity, yeah. So in a small space, if you have a small room or small space, so you may just use this curtain as your we call it lack of floor space and a closed drying rack that's comfortably accommodated, okay, by using your curtain. Okay, so other design is like this book markers. That's very simple design, but very smart. You don't have to make any marker. Use pen on your book, so you will never forget which line you were in. Okay, so this another design for using number 15th principles. Okay, this one also, and this one is an example. Yeah, insufficient excessive effect. This design, okay, when the liquid, I don't want to read it. This is a new design of leak. You next time buy this one. No, don't buy a circle one. Don't buy a round one. It means don't buy a symmetrical one. That's the point. Okay. And I will skip this. Okay. Yeah, this one is another dimension. Good example of another dimension. This is the famous one. So you don't need a separate pieces. You just use this one piece can solve the problem. Okay. And then, yeah, I will skip this. Yeah, and then transition to a new space. This design of we call it the name is how can I say that? I forgot the name of this. Anyway, if you don't have a submarine, or we call it mud, medium size of whatever, I forgot the name. It's hang on a rail upside down, so you will save a lot of space, and then also you don't have to dig a basement to spend a lot of money on your on a city construction. It's very expensive to have a subsystem. Okay, but you can use this to save time. And then reflector is a good application from transition to a new space. Okay, and anyway, I have couple. I collect many new design, and then to explain what is the 40 principles, but I really don't have time to introduce it in this time, and then I'll skip it, and then quickly to let you know this kind of design is convert harm into benefit. You just use some stickers and then can make your wall, I mean, have a correct decoration. Okay, we call it wall sticker. And yeah, I will skip it. I spent a couple times, sometimes to skip to collect those pictures and those designs. Okay, this is another design for safe to serve on, useful function to serve on. Yeah, use this to lock your bicycle, but I admit it is still very easy to be stolen. Yeah. Okay. Safe service. Okay, and yeah, you know why is this? What is this? This is a ladies use. I mean, soccer for lady. That's to avoid bad guys when you are walking on the street with a short skirt. Okay, and yeah. So there are many examples I cannot introduce today. There's a famous chair named the Okiwa chair. Use water for pneumatic or hydraulics design. So it's very simple design, but it's very useful. Okay, and then this one, Chinese may know this. We use this kind of cover, mosquito cover for baby, but originally this is not for mosquito. That's for our table, dining table, to avoid flies, not mosquito. But somebody uses for their baby. Why not? Okay. And this one is good design. Porous material. Use this kind of material to change the dimension of water. Okay. And the color change, I won't spend too much time on it. This is a new, a good application for change color. And then, yeah, so I'll skip it. Yeah, this one is a very good design. Parameters change. Okay, use this kind of material to help you suck the yolk from your egg. Okay, and then this one is a good design. Yeah, if you have a small space or have a small small shower room, you can use this. And then phase transition. Okay, so there are many examples. Okay, so hope I can introduce it to you sometimes. And then there are some exercise, but I don't want to give you right now, since it takes time and then takes your brainstorming. You need a good group for brainstorming to find out the solution. Okay, I'll stop here. I'll stop my sharing. Okay, I'll give time back to Miss Riana.